Hey friends, many of you have been asking me to do a tutorial on this beautiful Georgian song called Chubina, which got really popular on social media and particularly on TikTok. So I've decided to make a detailed tutorial for you so you can follow every note and learn this beautiful melody. In the original version of the song, you can hear two instruments being played, the bass guitar and a traditional Georgian instrument by the name of panduri. This instrument is a folkloric instrument and it has only 3 strings. So I had to do some adjustments in order to make the arrangement for the ukulele. In this tutorial, I will teach you how to play the chords in 2 versions, an easy version and a more advanced version, as well as the 2 melodies, the 2 original melodies that you need to know in order to play the song. So let's begin with the first part, the chords. And let's talk about the rhythm. This rhythm is based on a 6/8 rhythm, which is a very common rhythm in the region of the Middle East and Georgia. Down, up, down, up, down, up, chuck, up, down, up. Now the chords that you need to know for the first version are C added 2, D added 2, and E minor. However, there is another alternative way of playing these chords which might bring a bit more spice to the music. So the first C chord can be played also as this. 0, 0, 3, 7. The second chord will be again D added 2 but a different inversion. And this is our chord. 7, 6, 0, 0. I really love those open strings. And the last chord is a beautiful inversion of E minor. And it goes like this. 4, 7, 0, 7. Now let's try to combine the strumming that we just learned and the first version of the chords, meaning C added 2 in the first position, D added 2, and E minor. And before we put it together, let me do a pre-count. So meaning I'll be counting twice until 6 before we hit the first chord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now let's try to play the alternative chords with the strumming that we just learned. Let me count twice till 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now let's move on to part 2, the first melody. First, let's begin by playing the basic version of this melody, and it sounds like this. You repeat it again. And the second part is let's break it down finger by finger. So first of all, let's try to assign each one of these fingers to a string, meaning the thumb will be playing the 4th string, the index finger is assigned to the 3rd, middle finger assigned to the 2nd string, and ring to the 1st string. So let's try to play this section together slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1. 1. Good job. Let's look at the remaining part of this melody. It goes like this. And again. Let's try to play this one together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. So let's try and speed it up a little bit so it will sound closer to the original. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. So probably you're wondering why it still doesn't sound like the original melody. And the reason for it is because the original song was played by a folk instrument, by a traditional Georgian folk instrument called pandori. And on that instrument, the notes are played with a lot of embellishments, which is a very common thing to do in the region of Georgia and the Middle East. So let me show you how to play the intermediate advanced version of this melody, where you can use some really cool embellishments. It will sound like this. So let me break down every embellishment. The first embellishment happens on the first string, straight after plucking the second fret, and it goes like this. So after plucking the 0, I'm hammering on the second fret and releasing to a pull-off. So once again, 0, plucking the 0, hammering on the 2, and pulling off again to a 0. And in tempo it sounds like this. And the second embellishment happens between fret 2 and 3 on the second string. I'm hammering on the 3 and pulling off back to the 2. And it sounds like this. And the 0 in the end needs to be plucked. So let's put it together until here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. 1. So in order to get those sounds right, I'm suggesting you to slow it down and work on every movement separately. So if you're working on the hammer-on, just work only on the hammer-on. Later on, work separately on the pull-off. Same thing happens on the second string. Hammer on, pull off. And together it sounds like this. So basically for one pluck in the right hand, you're adding 2 extra sounds with your left hand. So again, to give you an example, plucking, hammer on, pull off. So we added 2 extra sounds. The same thing happens on the second string. Plucking, hammer on, pull off, and plucking the 0. And the remaining embellishment happens here. So instead of playing it like this, you're adding that. Let's look into it. So first of all, we're plucking the 0 on the first string, plucking the 3 on the second string, hammering on the 5th fret on the second string, pulling off that 5th fret and opening it back to the 3, and repeating that 2 times. 2, 0, and again. So as you already noticed, I changed my fingers from the basic version. So instead of playing it with the middle finger and the index finger, because of the embellishment, I needed to play it with my index finger and the ring finger, just because I needed to add the hammer-on and the pull-off on the 3rd and the 5th fret. So basically, if we zoom into the hammer-on and the pull-off, it's going to sound like this. So plucking the 3rd fret on the second string, hammering on the 5th fret, and pulling off that 5th fret to the 3, 0, 2, 0. So let's break it down and play it very slowly. 0, 3, hammer on the 5, pull off to the 3, 0 on the first string, 2 on the second string, 0, and again. And in tempo it's going to sound like this. Now I know that this version of the melody is pretty hard, so take your time, practice it very slowly and work on every movement. And after a few weeks of practicing, I'm sure you will be able to put this melody together with the embellishments. Now let's try to play the first melody, including the embellishments in rhythm. Check it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. And now let me play it a little bit faster so you can hear the full version. Now in the original version of the song there is a second melody on top of the first one, and I want to teach you how to play this one too. So the second melody without the embellishment sounds like this. So basically what happens here is that the melody begins a third up from the first melody, and that's what gives it this unique sound. Now the first section of the second melody goes like this. And repeat. Let's try to play it together in rhythm. And again, let me count it until 6, 2 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. 1. The second part of the second melody goes like this. 3, 2, 3, 2, 2, 0, 3. And again, 3, 2, 3, 2, 2, 0, 3. Now let's try to play the basic version of the second melody together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. 1. 1. And just like the previous melody, let me teach you how to add embellishments to this one so it will sound even better. So if you want to play the intermediate advanced version and include those embellishments, we need to use other fingers because there's a lot more movement going on. So the first embellishment happens here, which is again a hammer on and a pull off. Let's put it together. So instead of playing it, now we are doing, so a little embellishment between the 5 and the 3. So it's a little bit hard to do it with a pinky, but I prefer keeping my fingers in one position for this one. And the second ornament is between the 2 and the 3, where you're doing a hammer on and a pull off straight after. So far we're having an ornament between the 3 and the 5, and an ornament between the 2 and the 3 on the first string, right? So together it sounds like this. And in order to get the right sound, you need to play the ornaments pretty fast. And the next ornament is again between the 2 and the 3, hammer on the 3, pull off back to the 2, and plucking the 0 in the end. So till here it sounds like that. So that's the final part. Let's try to play this part together, only until here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. And the remaining ornament happens here. So instead of playing that, you're doing. So same thing, just a hammer on and a pull off between the 2 and the 3. And again, 3, 2, hammer on the 3, pull off back to the 2, and repeat. Now let's try to play the second melody with the ornaments together in rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. I know that it's already complex enough to add all those ornaments together and play it in rhythm, but the final tip that I want to give you is about the right hand. It's something that helps me playing songs like this one faster, right? So I'm actually getting up to speed. So rather than only assigning the 4 fingers to the strings, so basically thumb to the 4th string, index to the 3rd, middle to the 2nd, and ring to the 1st, sometimes, depending on where the melody goes, alternating the fingers and making the index finger and the middle finger walk. So that's pretty much happening when you have a linear melody, meaning a few multiple notes on one string. And because of the ornaments, there's more of that happening. So I'll just give you an example of the first part, just the first section, and hopefully you can take it with you to the remaining part. So let's say what I'm doing here, instead of playing, so you see in the beginning part, I'm using the same finger, and I don't feel very comfortable with that. So instead of doing that, I'm adding my index finger to pluck the first string after the ring finger. It can be any other finger. The idea is not to repeat a motion. So here you go, guys. You just learn how to play Chubina by the East Duo. We learned how to play the chords in the basic way and the spicy version of it. We learned the first melody in the basic way, and again with the ornaments, the spicier way of playing it, and the second melody, which is again basic and the spicier version with the ornaments. And now let's put all the parts together so you can hear how it sounds. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.